Right, if you ain't getting this one, then this one's for you.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to EME TV. You join me again in my lovely car park. Today is not that. We ain't got a positive video today. Basically, I'm gonna be going through what happened when with the Peugeot. As you can see by the title, bought a Peugeot, but this Peugeot I didn't buy to trade or anything. It was a Peugeot that I bought for, well, me and Mrs. bought for her to have because she needed a car because her previous car broke down. And let's say it just wasn't the most pleasant of experiences. Now I'll just be going through, these are one of the things that can happen, and I knew that can happen, especially when you're trading cars as well. Even just buying cars privately, these are the sort of problems that you can encounter. I was early on in sort of trading and stuff, so I expected to go through stuff like this that I'm going to go through, but I feel like since I've gone through them, it's made me better, like in terms of knowledge, better understanding of, you know, what to check, what not to check. It's just basically, it was a typical example of what not to do when buying a car, basically. And I've got to get in it. I'm going to go for a little drive and then we'll just go through it in a bit. Welcome, guys. You join me in the Peugeot. Yeah, we're gonna go in a little, well, I'm gonna tell you a little story about what happened and how I got conned buying this Peugeot. Now, all come about, basically this is my missus' car. Her previous car, my missus got automatic license, so her previous car was a Ford Focus, automatic. It broke down and she just said, instead of fixing it, like, I just want a new car. So I said, cool. Car searching, time to find a car in the area that's decent, a cheap little thing, because she hasn't had a license for that long, so she needs something that insurance can be reasonable as well. So we're looking for like basically max 1.4 litre. Doing our search, come across this Peugeot, looking good, decent. This is a 2010 Peugeot 207, semi-automatic. Everything good in the pictures, but it was priced cheaply. I believe when I saw it on Facebook, it was priced for £1,500. Now, for a semi-automatic, and at the time it only done about 52, I believe, or 51,000 miles. So it was very low, and I was just like, I mean, this is an absolute bargain. So I thought. So I obviously messaged the guy like, yeah, come to buy it. So what's happening with it, this and the other. He was like, oh yeah, somebody's coming to view it, but yeah, whoever gets here first sort of takes it. So I obviously got there before the other guy. Got there now, and the car looks good, looks clean. The guy's obviously taking it to go and get a valet. Outside, inside's clean, looking pristine, looking shiny. And then all of a sudden, go to test drive it, and it's not as smooth as what I thought. As in, when you used to put your foot down, it sort of has a delay, but the delay is quite extravagant. It's not just like a put your foot down now and then goes. It's sort of a delay in going. So I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? So then I'm still speaking to him. I'm saying, look, mate, do you know of any problems? He's told me, no, I don't know of any problems, this, that, and the other. What's the reason for sale? He told me that, it was his wife's car, she's not using it anymore, something like that, something along those lines. So I was like, all right. Mrs. liked it. At the time, she didn't need a car because she needed the car to be going to and from work. Now, I was very doubtful before buying the car, which is one of the things I look back on and say, my gut feeling was that I didn't think this guy was, one, being honest, and two, I didn't think that it was going to be a good purchase. Like, I felt as if there was going to be problems down the line sooner rather than later, and that's not something you want. Even though you buy cars cheap, like, yeah, it was only 1,500 quid, but you still want to buy something that maybe for at least 6 months you don't have any hiccups, or major hiccups, let's say. We've got it now. He was up for 1,500. I've gone there. Look, mate, I'll give you £1,000 for it. He's basically taken the £1,000, which I should have suspected anyway, but I just thought, I'm a decent negotiator. So I thought, you know what, I've done a typical me, and I've just got the price down. But let's say that he was happy with the £1,000, taking the £1,000 off me than I was with him getting a car for £1,000. So obviously, Mrs. drives it home now. I've asked her about what's happened, like when you're with the accelerator, and she said, yeah, it's still sort of delaying. Like, let's say you want to pull out of a corner quite quickly, or pull out of a roundabout quite quickly before another car, even though you shouldn't do that, but pull out. You couldn't do it in this car when we first got it because the delay on the accelerator was ridiculous. So something had to get checked out. But before, well, we even got it checked out because we were running it. It was running fine for, let's say, the next 2-3 weeks. And then the first thing happened. My missus was driving it to work one day and she's come back and she said it's come up with a gearbox problem, a gearbox fault. In automatics, that's probably the worst thing that you can hear when you hear gearbox fault. So she said, yeah, it came up on the screen saying gearbox fault. I'm at work, I'm stressing, I'm like flipping hell, like I knew that we shouldn't have got this car. I'm flipping. Now we've taken it to a mechanic who specialises in automatic gearboxes, because out there, even though, you know, there's garages that say they do clutches, they don't do automatic gearboxes. It's very hard to find automatic specialists. Everybody does manual. So we've taken it there now, and they've done a diagnostic report, run a couple of tests on it. Then they've come back, they've called me up and said, oh yeah, about your Peugeot. I was like, oh yeah. They're like, yeah, it's got a clutch actuator problem. Now, I didn't do my research on Peugeot 207s. I was just looking for a cheap automatic. First problem. And you know, you're going to buy a car, you don't know what major problems or what problems are most likely to come up, and what are the usual problems with it a lot of owners face. Clutch actuator on semi-automatic Peugeot, especially 207s, are one of the most common issues you can have with this car. So I've gone flipping out. Clutch actuator, all right, fair enough. I've looked around, I've flipping called. Clutch actuator on semi-automatic Peugeot, especially 207s, are one of the most common issues you can have with this car. So I've gone flipping out. Clutch actuator, all right, fair enough. I've looked around, I've flipping called up individuals. I called up even main dealer, which I don't usually do. I called up main dealer and said, how much is it for a clutch actuator? He literally told me on the phone, for the part alone, it's £600. And my heart just sank. I was just like, oh my days. But even though, maybe if you fix it, you're still gonna get the car less than what a actual Peugeot with this sort of mileage, fully working order would be. But still, I was just like, nah. Like I was just very. I wasn't the happiest bunny. Let's just say that. So I've gone all right. I've gone to one of my good friends who's a mechanic, and I was just like, look, I need a clutch actuator. Like, I need one. He's got a guy called a guy who happened to have one 150. So you think it's like £150. It's like, all right, you've saved the bullet. Next problem is that 2 months or 3 months after, the MOT was due. So MOT was due for the car. So this is the real test. Thank you. This is the real test. Can it pass MOT? Take it to your normal quick fit. I've just gone, yeah, MOT. So all right, left it there. Come back the next day, and they've given me a bill of about 600 quid, saying that it needs about £600 worth of work. Some of the things I couldn't have seen, but one of the major things was the exhaust, and there was a rattle from the back that I thought was normal but wasn't, and stupidly, I don't know how I thought that rattle was normal. I just don't know. It's actually embarrassing. They told me that, yeah, the exhaust has snapped, but usually exhausts come in, as an accident almost happens in front of me. Exhausts usually come in two sections, two parts. So you get like a middle section and a back section, but the Peugeot 207, their exhausts are straight through. It's all one sort of exhaust. So in terms of when the exhaust snaps, you have to get a whole new exhaust, which was a frustrating thing. And Quick Fit have obviously billed me they've said it's £300 to fix, and I'm just like, oh my days. So it's just a story whereby it's about, even though I got the work done cheaper than usual, but it's just easy ways of getting conned out there. I didn't do any check when I went to go and see the car. I didn't do any check around it. I didn't check underneath it, which is stuff that stuff that I've started to do after that. because when I went there, I literally test drove it. You know, has it got any service history? Have you got the logbook? You know, your normal stuff. And that was it. I was like, all right, sweet. You know, negotiated price, which I should have done thorough checks. I was rushing as well, because I obviously tried to get Mrs. a car as soon as possible because he needs to go to work and so on and so forth. So rushed into it, which made us make the decision to get it when we shouldn't have. Yeah, it's all fixed now, but it's all spending money that you didn't anticipate to spend. So it's just easy ways that you can actually get conned out there. I got conned firsthand, so I think it's a learning experience for me because it's obviously, as I said at the start, it's just made me more aware of things to check for. I'm more thorough in my searches when I'm looking at cars to buy, especially if somebody's, even when I'm negotiating price with somebody, if somebody's too willing to take quite a significant lower price when you've offered. So let's say you know somebody's got a car up for 2k. If you're just giving them, you know, going there and just saying, yeah, 1.3, 1.2, and they're taking it willy-nilly, you know that there's probably something up with that car. So do your checks, do your thorough checks. When, you know, I've just started, you know, trading cars and so on, so it was something that was bound to happen to me. Yes, it did happen to me, and to be honest, I'm grateful it did happen to me because I've come out the other side better, and well, I know more about 207s, as well as I just know what to do when I go to view any car. The chance of me, I'm not an expert by any means, stretch of the imagination, but I just feel as if the chance of me getting conned are less likely. It's just with anything. The more you do it, the less likely you are to be duped. The less likely you are to be, I'll just use the word conned, yeah, conned in anything. But guys, thanks a lot. I thought I'd just share that with you because it's something that I went through during this sort of car trading thing. But yeah, fix the 207. If you have a 207 out there, please tell me if you had a clutch actuator problem, because I believe most of them do, so it's not going to be a surprise out there. But guys, thanks a lot for watching. If you like this content, please stay tuned. Click the thumbs up button because it helps out the channel a lot. Please subscribe down below or somewhere along here, and watch out for new content. I said I was going to try and be as consistent as possible, which I am. I'm going to stick by my word, so keep your eyes peeled. But guys, thanks a lot for watching. Take care. I'm out. Peace.